Howdy ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today, I thought I would share with you guys a couple of goodies that I have gotten in the mail. And the first one is from my friend Amy. And this is her YouTube channel. It's Journals and More, created by Crack Amy. And it's at Amy Crackman. Now, I am going to attach below the link to her channel. So if you're not a member of Amy's YouTube channel, hop on over and give her some love. Join her channel. She's brand new, so she needs some subscribers. And she would love having you subscribe to her channel. She's brand new on YouTube. And she is a very sweet girl and so creative. Oh my gosh, she's so creative. And I highly recommend her channel. So that is her channel. And you can look her up by that name, or you can type in at Amy Crackman is the link that you would use. But I will include that below for you. So let me show you all the goodies that she sent me. Let me sit down here. Hold on a second. Now, Amy also has a Ko-fi shop. So you'll be able to find some things on Ko-fi. And she made me, Amy and I are doing a crazy quilt together. So she made me some of these little yo-yos to use on our little crazy quilt, and I just love them. I just love them. And then she also sent me, I'm telling you what now, all I have to do is say, do you happen to have an orange piece of paper? And I got a whole bag of stuff. I said, do you happen to have any more of that orange paper that you dyed? And she said, oh yeah, I think I have a piece or two. And oh my gosh, I got a whole bag full of stuff. This was the orange paper I was referring to, because it was a jelly print that she did. And it was a beautiful shade of orange that she achieved. And I loved it. And after I trimmed off the edges, that was what it looked like. And I loved the color and the print that she got on it. So that was all I was expecting to get in the mail besides these. Well, surprise, surprise. And then I got this beautiful orange. And then this lovely. And this little lovely that she went on and put on a page for me. And it opens like this. Like that. So I can go on and add those into, into a journal. And then some of her ruffles. And this is just a small piece of fabric. And I love this fabric. It is so pretty. But they're just like little bits and pieces of fabric. And then there were pieces of lace that we're going to add onto our crazy quilt. Here's this lovely, it's kind of a turquoise. And this is like a soda top, but it has like a tree of life on it. Now, I don't know if I'll ever use this anywhere because I just love it. So I might have to keep that like in my stash. Because I just love it. I might use it on a dangle on one of my books, but I don't know. I just love it. So I don't lose it, I am going to put it up here in my drawer because I don't want to lose it. And then there's this piece, and all these lace pieces are vintage. And this is just lovely, lovely pleated. This way I think you can see it better. It's got a silver thread that runs through the edge. She did a, what is it called? It's one of those, let me show you the bag I'm pulling out this from. She did one of those multi-state, during the late summer, early fall, there was a multi-state, look at all that, a multi-state yard sale that our area you can go through. And that's one of those dairy coins. Yeah, that's going to have to go up there too. And so she did one of them. And she said she brought back more than she'll ever use. And isn't that a pretty orange? That would be pretty in the right project. That would really be pretty in the right project. And this is what I want to see. Now, I've had this for quite some time, but I really haven't had a chance to look at it. Oh, that's really pretty. That's just really cute. This is what I wanted to see. This originally would have been used, I think most likely for curtains. I think that's what this originally would have been used for. I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking. Because as you get further down here, it's sewn on the bottom too. So I really don't know for sure. But then since the bottom isn't sewn, you get these little rufflies. So like I could cut it through there. Now I've got our little ruffly here. That would just be adorable. It's really thick though. It's really, really thick. So you can see how thick it is. That would really be cute on the bottom of a book or something like that. So I'm really going to have to, I have an idea. And the colors are very fall, winter colors. I have an idea for this. I do have an idea for this. This gave me a very good idea. And then there's more lace. Some is very neutral. She knows I like neutrals. That's very pretty. And then there's more of the, there's some ribbon. More of the little ruffles that she likes to make. That one's very pretty. Oh, isn't that cute? With the little Smurfs. I think, no, they're not Smurfs. What are they called? You know those little things that you stand in your yard? And some fabric pieces. Oh, some lovely winter ribbon. It's got snowflakes on it. I don't know if you can see the snowflakes or not. And this is a pretty ruffle. This might be used like on the bodice of a dress. You know, between the bodice and the skirt of a dress. Or on somebody could have used it on a curtain, at the top of a curtain. And here's some more ribbon. This is reminds me of a very 70s style. And so do some of these. Just because, and I don't know that they are, but just the style, they're embroidered style ribbons. There are a couple of those. This one especially does. Back in the 70s, embroidered style ribbons were very popular. I remember having a dress that was black and had ribbon like this around the sleeves. around the cuff of the sleeve, and it had it, and then just some more eyelet lace, and then some more flat lace, a little piece of crochet. So my little dress had that little ribbon around the sleeve and around the bodice of my dress. And just lots of ribbon, pieces of fabric, this is flats on the back. So very easily cut it apart and just use them individually, or you could cut it down the middle like that and then use it in strips, or you cut them apart and use them, you know, as individuals. So that's what's in this. And this, oh my gosh, look at this. Little hearts. Oops, turn around here. 3 little hearts. So that's what's in this part of the bag. So let's put this back in here. So if you don't like this noise, mute your phone for a minute while I put this back in here. Let's get this off of my desk, or move it aside here. And then in this big bag, she said she got to play with her embossing machine, and she embossed some lovely papers. And a whole strip of those little plastic pearls. So I have more of those to play with. Now these are just old papers that were punched. I mean, my goodness. My goodness, Amy. This is some more of her dyed paper. There's another piece of fabric. This looks very familiar, or at least the style does. This would be a lovely ruffle. It would be, is there 2 pieces wrapped up in here? Looks like there might be 2 pieces. Oh, there is. Oh, there's a lovely fall fabric wrapped up in here. Oh gosh, there's 3. So there's that one. And then there's this one. So those are the 3 fabrics that were all wrapped together. Now, when she and I do FaceTimes, I've seen her craft room on FaceTime. I have nothing on her. Her craft room is amazing. Absolutely amazing. It is amazing. I'm telling you what, it is just, she has got so much stuff. So, it just amazes me. So these are, I'm not sure what type of cards these are, but they're client cards of some sort. Maybe they're for like patient cards, old medical cards. Right now I'm watching Call the Midwife. So this reminds me of the type of card that might be used there, because it's got like the patient number, you know, their information, their spouse's information, and different things like that. So this kind of reminds me of the type of card Miss Millicent would use. You know, she's the little secretary. If you don't watch that show, you have no idea who I'm talking about, but Miss Higgins, who's the secretary. This reminds me of the type of card that she would use in her little filing system. And then on the back, there's information, you know, plenty of space to write. So those are very nice. I like those. And then there's some more fabric pieces here. I really like these. These will be fun to use, to tear up and use. And then there are some smaller fabric pieces. Now, when I say smaller, they're really not that small. This is a strip, and that is just dainty as can be. That reminds me of something I've used in a quilt before. I might actually still have a piece of it. And then these are bigger pieces. That reminds me of a playing card. And these would be lovely ruffles. These would be lovely pieces that you could back playing cards or index cards with, you know, to make pockets. And this is one of her little, this is another of her little folded pieces right here. And inside of it, she's got some little stickers. Like that. And then it just folds back up. So you could put it into the corner of a page. Let me see if I can show you here. So let me turn this over. So I could put it into the corner of a page like this, or even up here like this, and then you can open it and you have plenty of room for writing. It would lay flat on your table and you could write all you wanted, or you could put it down in another corner like this, and when you open it, it would lay flat on the table. You know, you could put a little tab on it. You could open it flat onto the table, and you could write like that if you wanted to, and you don't have to. You could just leave it and tuck a picture in it. You could tuck several pictures in it because you've got all that space that you can tuck into it. Okay, so let's put that back over there. Oh, okay. Well, now this envelope is full of little goodies, so let's see what's in here. You know what? Let's save that for a little bit. I'm going to put that up there. And let's see what else we have here. I think we've finished with the fabrics. Oh, this is a piece of, I'll think of what it's called in a minute. And it's backed with, it looks like it might be sticky, but I don't think it is. No, it's not. It's nice and stiff. So you could make this into a pocket. You could make it into a belly band to go across the page, to go across this way. You could make it go across this way to make a belly band and have your pocket down here at the bottom if you wanted. It's not quite tall enough to make one that way, so I would definitely make one going that way. And why in the world? Burlap. That's what it is. Oh my gracious, Lori. Words are hard today. This is a lovely piece of wallpaper. Oh my goodness, the texture. Can you see the texture? I don't know if you can or not since it's white. I'll try to move it a little bit so you can see it. It's a lovely textured wallpaper. Now see, I wouldn't mind having that on a wall. It's really, really pretty. And then some, oh my, I don't know what kind of paper this is, but it is smooth as silk. That is lovely paper. Oh my, that is just smooth as silk. And then this is just from a notebook. Looks like this is just from an accounting book. Oh, this is lovely. This is lovely. I've just used the last of mine. And here is another large piece of paper. Oh, and it looks like this might be tracing paper. Oh, no, this is onion skin paper. For those of you that are my age, or maybe even a little older, you remember using onion skin paper when we were learning to type. Do you remember using that? Or this might be tracing paper. Let's see. No, this is old. This is very old tracing paper, I think. I think this is tracing paper. This is very old tracing paper, I think. Yeah, this is old tracing paper. It's either very old tracing paper or it's very old onion skin paper. It feels like onion skin. I'm trying to see, there's something written on it. Let me put it up here to the light, see if I can tell what it says. It's right there. Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to boop you. Erasable. This is, I think this is tracing paper. This is very old tracing paper. It's erasable tracing paper is what this is. Very old. And right here. Yeah, if you happen to find onion skin paper, you're going to be very lucky. Very, very lucky. I haven't seen onion skin paper in eons. Eons. Okay, here's some more from a data book. This is really soft. It has a really soft feel to it. But this would be lovely as a page in a book. You know, you could turn it that way. Now, I would turn it this way so these were facing out so that I could sew this in. That way I would know that this would sew in well. Now, what I might even do is put a piece of, because this feels, it's really soft and I don't know the age of it. Let's see if there's a date on it. It doesn't say the date here in the middle. But what I might even do on it, if I were to use this, is I might even take a piece of fabric or another piece of paper, and after I fold it right here, I might put a piece, let me show you what I'm talking about here, is after I fold this, I would check its strength. And this feels pretty strong. It doesn't feel like it's old. But if after you fold a piece of paper like this, it feels like it's really soft through here, you can take a piece of fabric, you can take another piece of paper, and you can fold it over this fold, and you can glue it down. Don't glue on your fold, though. Glue on this side and this side. That way, when you sew it in, you've given your paper a little bit extra strength so that this doesn't crack. Just don't glue on the fold. When you glue on the fold, then you have that extra glue that you have to sew through. And I have found that if I don't glue the fold, if I just glue on my two sides, it makes it much easier to actually sew through. But this does not feel like it's really old, so I don't think that I would have to worry about it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to use that in an upcoming book. This just looks like old wrapping paper, and I love, love, love the pattern. That is just lovely, and I definitely think that is a lovely pattern to go in a book. It would be different, like a spring book or a summer book. It's got pears on it, so a summer book would be fun for that. Now, this is the paper that, if you're learning music, I recognize this. If you're learning music, this is the type of paper that you would be writing on, because you have to learn to write on this paper. When you're learning how to write your musical notes, or you're creating music, this is the paper that you use. Now here's another one of those pages like we just had. So let's put this together. Let's put that together. Now here's the daily timesheet. Let's pull this paper out here so we can get this going here a little faster. Here's daily timesheets. I always had the punch things. I didn't have, oh, I did have one of these, I think. Just once. I hated them. I like the punch ones much better. Here's an accounting sheet. I used to do these. They were in a big book, you know, about, the spine was about that big, and in front of them were the alphabetic tabs, you know, where you kept charge of your accounts that you were in charge of. They were a real pain. Now this is just old newspapers. These are always fun to play with. This is from just an old ledger page. Now, this is another page that she used on her, oh, this is really old. This is music paper, but she used it on her gel printing plate. And let me show you the other side here. It's lovely. The print is lovely. This is a music with guitar chords for Tales from the Vienna Woods. So if you're folding this, this is really tattered and it looks like it's really soft. So this is something that you would have to be really cautious with on these sides. See, this is already breaking here, so you would have to be cautious. Here's some more of the ledger sheets, just in different styles. This is another of her. Now this is coffee dyed, or not coffee dyed. It's this is paint dyed, but it's wax paper. And this is just old book page. Here's a couple of just regular pages. This is paper here that was dyed with Easter egg dye. This is one of the orange pages that I asked for. And here's just some regular paper in beautiful bright colors. Coffee dyed paper. See, I told you she went a little crazy, and all I did was ask for an orange piece of paper. Here's another of her dyed pages with a doily print. There's the blue. This is the most beautiful green with a big doily print on it. I just love this page. That's the back, and it still has a light print on the back. Plus, it has the blue. So I'm thinking this blue was close to it to pick up that blue print. And this green is just lovely. And it's got the polka dots. And there's some more of the blue. So that kind of reaffirms me. And here's some more of that gorgeous orange that she does. I don't know how she does it, but oh my gosh, I love her oranges. And this is a beautiful page that she did. Look at all that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I just love it when she does stuff like that. And this page she dyed over. It's just gorgeous. And here's just some more of the regular paper. Let me just pull this out. We'll put it with it here. Let's put this back with this. some more. It's just a piece of paper from a book that she coffee dyed. This is a coloring book page that was coffee dyed. This is music paper that she did with her colors. Another coloring book page. She just does such a fabulous job when she dyes paper. I just love the colors that she gets. And this is an avocado dyed page. Look at that color. Isn't that fabulous? And this one. I mean, I have so much fun with her pages. And this is a piece of Braille paper. Now, my husband used to work on Braille printers when he first graduated college. He used to repair them. And we used to have this stuff all over the house. And it has been such a long time since I had the pleasure of having Braille paper all over the house that I could feel the texture and have the honor of dealing with. But we used to have rolls and rolls and rolls of it. And it's been years since we've had it. So I was really surprised when I got that and just so pleased. Now, in this little envelope, there are some stickers. And this little die cut. Some more of her little, she took paint chips and took them through her die cutting machine. I love that. And then here, this little piece of paper went through her die cutting machine. And I think over here you can see it better. Maybe. It's lovely. It's got roses and butterflies. And it is just lovely. That would be so lovely on a page. This is William Dampier. It's a little tea card. Let's see. William Dampier was born in Somerset. He is from Pennsylvania. And then here's a little pocket that I can use in one of my journals. So you go in there, dude. Here are some more of these stamped, okay, the words just went out of my head. These are the paint chips that she took through her embossing machine. This is the butterfly I was just telling you about. Can you see it? This green one, I think, is just fabulous. Here's the dark green. Can you see the butterfly on the dark green? This one has music notes. This one is a heart. A cake. And that one is roses. Okay. Amy, thank you for all of this fabulous treasures. I'm going to have so much fun playing and creating with this stuff. Now, let me put these little things back in here because I don't want to lose these. And I'm going to put all this aside here. Then I'm going to show you guys one more thing. Now, let me put this on my table right over here. Hold on a second. Okay. I didn't want to get that out of the way. Now, again, I will put Amy's site, her YouTube channel, rather, down below so that you can go visit Amy. Now, this lovely stuff came from, that I'm going to show you, came from 1924 Linens and More off of Etsy. This is one of my favorite Etsy shops. I visit there all the time. So it's 1924 Linens and More. and I just love her shop. She is one of my favorites, and I visit her quite frequently for my laces, my linens, like my ladies' hankies, and things like that. So I ordered this little box, and I ordered it because of this little chicken. You all know how much I love chickens. So let me show you the box first. So here's the top, and here's the side. Okay. And the top comes off like this. That's the inside. And it's got these little handles that come up. And it was filled just like this. That on top. Actually, this was on top. With that little flower. And the side is just like this. Now, as you can see, this is filled. It's just filled. So we're going to start with this. So this is just, replica of old newspaper ads. But, I use things like this in my journals. Like, I would tear this apart and make a pocket or something like that. And I love stuff like that. So this is, and all of her stuff is vintage. It isn't new. So this lace, but it is clean. You don't get things that are dirty. You don't get things that have, just are filthy. She does make sure that they're clean. This lace is fabulous, and it's quite a big piece, actually. And then in this here was a little thank you card for ordering from her. And this little butterfly. Oh my gosh, that little butterfly inside a little card that she sent me. Here's the little card that she sent me. And it says, just thank you for your order. And this was inside like that, to keep it flat. So I'm just going to keep it in there like that. And then all this, I'm just going to pop back in here to keep, so I don't lose it, number one. But so I don't lose my butterfly until I'm ready for it. Now on here, this is something that I don't know that I'll use this because these are rather bulky, other than maybe the front of a journal, or I might use some of these for dangles, because this is rather large for me. I mean, I have kind of small hands and wrists. I'm never going to wear it, but I might use bits and pieces of it as a dangle. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. You just never know what I'm going to do with it. The same with this little guy. There's nothing really on the back of it. So I might use it as part of a dangle. I might decorate the front of a book with it. I just don't know. So inside all of this treasure box, there are several of the smaller pieces. And some of the smaller pieces that you've seen me use like these, I've gotten from her. There are all of these. Now, some of these little small ones like this, she has made. Okay, so there are several of these. And that little blue one is just adorable. There are a couple of those. And the back of this came off of that one, so I'm pretty sure she didn't make that one. And this green one is just lovely. Okay. And then there's this piece of lace. Now, I'm going to turn this, I think it goes this way. And I am going to do my best at taking this out and showing you. And then I'll put it back in. I'm not going to take it out and put it back in. I'm going to take it out and show you, and then I'll deal with putting it back in. Here's a nice big flat piece of lace. And this is a nice piece of linen. I think this is called, yeah, this is linen. And this is just gorgeous. And I'm just going to lay things flat here. This is just like terry cloth. And there's lovely pinks and greens and whites. So there's a lot of neutrals, and then there's the pinks. This is linen. I really like that one. Now this is a green velvet, or I don't know if it's really velvet or if it's velveteen. It's got some stretch to it, so it's more like a velveteen, I guess. But here's some green crochet. This is a piece of fabric. Now these fabrics are good for making, and it's a lovely piece of fabric. I would use these fabrics in all sorts of manners. I would use them in, oh, you can't see that. This must be the front. It's got a little pattern that's woven in here, and it's kind of hard to see. Maybe that's the whole idea. This has a beautiful crocheted edge on it. So I would think this is probably from either a tablecloth, maybe a table runner. Since this is rather large, that's what I would think. So what would I do with this? Things like this, I would use to decorate a page. When we make those, when I make those master boards, where we use paper and we stamp, I would use things like this on the top of that. Do you remember when we made that box that was, you know, it had stamps and it had all that paper on it? I would use this, something like this on the top of it, to decorate the top of it. I would cut off pieces like this here to decorate the top of it. Or I would even use some of the fabric here, some of this fabric to cover up things like index cards. I would use it to cover up playing cards, just to use. And this right here, I love it because I love embroidery pieces. I told you in the beginning of this video, Amy and I are working on a crazy quilt. Well, within that crazy quilt, I want to decorate my squares. So I might replicate something like this on a crazy quilt. Or I might cut this out. I might cut that out right there. And I might stitch that down on one of my small squares of my crazy quilt. And then I not only have that pattern, but I have this cute little pattern behind it to make a design on one of my squares. Now, this is a larger piece here. This is a very large piece. So this has got a decoration in the corner, and you've seen me cut my corners out, decorative corners out of things like hankies and things like doilies and use them. You've also seen me cut the edges off and use them. And use things like this to cover books. I've used things like this to cover the edges of books. This I might use to cover the corner or the spine of a book. I might use this to cover the spine of a book. Or I might use this as the base of something, this piece here, and save this piece until later. I don't know. See, this is a very old piece because I can see the print that's right here. So, you know, right off the top of my head, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I do know that at some point I will dig into this. Now, this isn't going to stay in this little box. This stuff will get put safely away so that it doesn't get lost. Now, this here is a smaller piece. I would say that this is probably a lady's hanky. Yeah, this is very small. This is a lady's hanky. So this would get put in a book somehow to represent a lady's hanky. Or it could get used on my crazy quilt. You know, you just never know how I'm going to use things like this. You just never do. Now, this is a larger piece of fabric. There's actually a couple of them folded up here. And this is another lady's hanky. Okay, so now we're getting into these gold colors, where this is just a piece of fabric here. Now, this red matches that red that's down there. It matches that red. So I might come up with something to do with both of those. So I might fold these together like this. So I have them together. Now this came from an old kitchen curtain. You know why I know that? Because as a child, we used to have these kitchen curtains hanging in my mom's kitchen. And there was this house pattern hanging all in a row for the width of the curtain. And so as a memory to me, I might cut out this house further and use that on a page. And then at the bottom of the page, I might cut this ruffle out, maybe across that line, and use this ruffle so it hangs out from the page. And now that I say that, I might just make sure that this goes on top so that I can do that, because I remember that quite fondly in my mom's kitchen. And it hung there for years. And I can remember on laundry day, my mom would wash those curtains with such care. Those were her favorite curtains. This is just a very fine piece of fabric. And then one day, those curtains just disappeared because somebody told her they were out of, they were no longer in fashion. And I don't know who told her that, but I was not very happy with them. Now that's a very, very cute piece of fabric. Looks like something I would use in a quilt. Now that is very sparkly, and over top she has laid this very muted blue. Can you see that very muted blue? And it has, and this is kind of a light turquoisey, shiny fabric. So this muted blue kind of takes down that shine. That's just very clever of her. Here's another piece of, I think this is knitted, not crocheted. I think it's a knit. Yeah, it's a little tighter than the crochets. Now this also has a pattern woven into it. And I think it goes this way. And it looks like it's got a flower that goes up the seam. And again, that was probably a curtain or for the table. This was either a curtain or the table. Most likely a curtain. Those of you that said to me when I remarked my age way back when, I remember, you'll be able to tell me, was that a curtain or a table? This one was a tablecloth. I can see the leaves. I can feel the difference in the texture. This one was a tablecloth. It was a solid white tablecloth. And I remember they used to be so pretty when they were on a table. Do you guys still use tablecloths? Do any of you still put a tablecloth on your table? If you do, let me know. I do. I've got one on my table right now. This is just a piece of quilted fabric. Very simple. Now this piece, this is not an old piece, but it's very pretty. This is crocheted. Now see the difference this gives. So this is crocheted. I know, I can remember my mom saying a table always has to have a tablecloth. This, I think, was also an old tablecloth. Now there were 4 of us. So keeping a tablecloth on our table. Now let me rephrase that. Keeping the tablecloth clean on our table. Because we had the long bench type table. And keeping it clean with the 4 of us running in and out and in and out, especially after school. And we had the bench type seats for the 4 of us. And then on the one end, there was a chair for my dad. And he sat in there. And boy, oh boy, you better not hope your behind was sitting in his chair when he came in for dinner. Because all he had to do was look at you, and you knew to get up from that chair, because that was his chair. The rest of us sat on the bench to eat our, we each had our own designated places on our, sitting on the bench. So we sat on our bench, and we had dinner, and then after dinner, we had to help clean up. Now, this little thing reminds me here of a tea cozy. You can set your cup on it while you're having tea. A very small tea cozy. My son made me something like this when he was in 7th grade, but mine is a little bit longer and wider. I could put my teacup on it and still have enough room to set a snack next to it. So this reminds me of something that you would make and set your teacup on, or your coffee cup if you don't drink tea, or if you don't drink either and you just have a glass of water, you could set it on there so you didn't get anything on your table. And then after dinner, it was up to the girls to do the dishes Now, my youngest sister, it was up to her to put the tablecloth back on. And, of course, me and my sister always ragged her because she never got it straight. It was always crooked. She doesn't put a tablecloth on her table now. All right, so there's all of the fabric. And down at the very bottom, she has another piece of this paper in the decorative tin. And this is what the tin looks like here. So, it was just a lovely little thing to, to get. And so I encourage you to pop on over to let me show you her card. 1924 Linens and More. Now I want to show you her card again. So if you want to take a screenshot of it, you can. Now, where did I do with her card? All right, Lori. Let me put that up there. Because I know I just had it, didn't I? Did I put it under? There it is. There it is. 1924 Linens and More is the name of the site. And she has a variety of things to choose from. And I'll also link her down below. So you can, so you'll have her site linked. There we go. And they just sit back in there. Now, they're not going to stay in there, of course. They'll go in my, I have a box that I put all her stuff in. But I do think I'll put my smaller pieces in here, so I'm not constantly losing them. That will be a good place for them. Especially all my little crocheted pieces and knit pieces like this. That way I won't keep losing them. Now my little tiny pieces like this, I put in the drawer. There. Alrighty. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. And I'm finally caught up on showing you all the little goodies that I've gotten over the last, I don't know, couple of months. And they've been sitting here waiting for me to show you all the fun that I've had and I've collected so that you can have some fun too. And I also want to thank you all for your condolences and for your best wishes. I still keep waiting for him to walk in the room and lay down in his bed and go. Now that I've kind of got myself pulled together, that's the last we'll speak of it. And until I see you guys again in our next Ladybug Journal video, ta-ta for now.